Welcome guys to another edition of Welcome to Mo's World. And this episode we're going to talk about the Equalizer, and then also we're going to talk about the Maze Runner. But as always, as I always say, if you happen to like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up that you see under this particular video. And also if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to Welcome to Mo's World. And also let your friends know that Welcome to Mo's World is on YouTube. So, not gonna do a long drawn out introduction, we're just gonna go straight into it. So the first movie we're gonna talk about is The Equalizer. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Now sometimes there are like some actors and actresses that you see on the screen and you're going like, please, you don't need to be making no more movies. It's time for you to go sit down. You're like 90 years old and it's time for you to stop. Such as Sylvester Stallone, such as Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the list can go on and on and on. But Denzel Washington, for some reason, does not fit in that category. Denzel Washington come out with a movie today, and it's just like, it's like an automatic like #1 hit for some reason. I guess that's like the beauty of acting. But like I said, it's just, and the fact that he may be older, but he has not become older like in front of the camera. If you kind of know what I'm saying, it's just Denzel Washington is just the man, especially in The Equalizer. Oh, when I tell you Denzel Washington is the beast in The Equalizer, he is the beast, and he's like, do not play. Just like the old back in the day when you really like Denzel Washington, when he was like especially like when he was like the brutal Denzel Washington. But yeah. So, well, basically, anyway, he happens to work in like, it's like a Home Depot type situation, and I think this is like his little part-time job that he does, and whatever he does on basically that's a little part-time job. But he goes to the little coffee shop on a daily basis, and him and this prostitute, I call her a prostitute girl, Chloe Grace Moretz, I guess I'm saying her name correctly. She's a little chick from, like, if you ever seen the new version of Carrie, which I was disappointed with. But and also too, she played like all these little teenage movie stuff, and she's a little happy little go lucky little girl. But anyway, which I was shocked seeing her playing a prostitute in this movie, which was like, okay, this is like nothing I was not expecting you to play. But anyway, so they have like a little friendly relationship within this little coffee shop that he goes to every day. He goes there and he's very OCD in how he put his silverware down, and he reads a book every day. Basically, because his wife read books when she was alive, and she was like at number 90 something. So he was trying to beat his wife's record in reading books. So anyway, one day the little prostitute girl, she comes in and she's beat up, and he's the type of person, he doesn't like no one crime against done to innocent people. That's what his main thing. He doesn't like that. So the little prostitute girl gets beat up one day, and she has something wrong with her eye, and so one day he decides he's gonna walk with her, and so the girl gets kidnapped by her quote pimp or whatever they want to call themselves, and so she ends up getting beat up real badly. So Denzel, being the good Samaritan that he is, he goes out and he goes find these people who happen to beat this girl up. I'm suspecting that little did he know the people that he went after was part of a more bigger game than what he expected. I'm going to assume that based upon the movie. Then of course they come after him, and that's when he goes back into his old days when he was this big time person. Where he did killing and stuff back in the day, whatever. So but yeah, so it was, so basically that's the premise of it. So he ended up, because based upon this prostitute that he meets, and he ends up going after the people that hurt her. He has a whole nother genre of people that he this warlord that he ends up getting in trouble with. So that's basically the concept of this whole movie. Now I will say this: the movie was good. It was a good movie. It was, especially when it finally got to the action pieces of the film. The beginning of it was very, when I say very slow, it was very slow. I'm like, okay, come on, can we please do something? Let's get on with this. If you're looking for a very action-packed movie, like bang bang shoot 'em up, like every 5 minutes, no, this is not the movie for you. It's very the guy who made the movie, Francois, whatever his name is, I think he directed Traffic or something like that, which also had Denzel Washington in it as well. So, like I said, but when it finally got to the part of the action scenes were just great. The action scenes were wonderful. But to get to the action scenes, I was like, okay, this is like, it was a little slowish. I found out the movie is, after watching it, and my show started at 9:30, and I didn't get out the theater until like 12 o'clock. So I was like, okay, so this movie is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. If you add the trailers and all that, make about 2 hours and 30 minutes. And it kind of felt that way. So, but like I said, but besides that, when I tell you, it is a must-see movie, but be warned, it is a little slow at the beginning. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give the Equalizer 3.5 stars. 3.5 stars on the Equalizer. I would give it 4. The only point is, again, like I said, the beginning kind of drained me a little. And then also too, now the Equalizer is based upon a TV show that I have never seen before in my life, and I don't think I'm going to DVR or try to figure out what the old Equalizer did. But it's based upon the TV show. But like I said, it did have some gaps in it. Like I said, I'm assuming he didn't know that the girl was part of this big organization. Little did he know when he went in to go deal with the people he dealt with. But yeah, like I said, 3.5. I would recommend it. Like I said, it is a must watch because first of all, when he finally gets to where he needs to get to, Denzel is that man. So yeah. The Maze Runner. The Maze Runner, basically, now the actors and actresses and stuff like that, I'm not going to give out any names because they're not any big major stars per se. But basically what the Maze Runner is this particular area, and one person comes up on this particular escalator thing or elevator thing that they have, and it's a new person 1 month and they have supplies. So because it's like this little world that's surrounded by walls, and basically every morning these walls open up and there's a maze inside, and now it's like this little society. It's usually all guys, and then eventually like one girl comes into the whole society. And then each person has like their particular job, and the person who cut down the wood, and you do all this. But they have this particular job called the runners, and what the runners do, they go through the maze and try to figure out a way to get out of this particular society. But every day the maze changes, so it's not like it's the same on a day-to-day basis because it rotates at night and things of that nature. So you always know there's always going to be one person who is going to be against the grain and try to figure out be the savior of all these people that's probably been here for like 10 years. There's one person comes and goes, know what? We're getting out of this particular box. I'm not going to live in this box, and I don't want you living in this box. So he ends up going into the maze. Now inside the maze there's these things called, there is these monsters. I forgot what they call the monsters, but it's a monster inside the maze that's basically, if you get stuck in there, you don't come back alive because these particular monsters, they come and get you. But this one person, this one savior, he goes in there and he figures out how to kill the monsters. And then the people who's controlling this maze does not necessarily like this. And so, of course, at this particular time, it feels like there's a breach to your society, or we keep you in this maze and we feed you and you do all this, but now you have come into our maze and you have caused corruption, and now we're going to cause corruption on you. There's no point of me having you anymore. So they let these monsters out into the little maze or whatever. So the maze, it was pretty interesting. I actually pretty liked the maze. It was interesting. I will also give the maze, in this particular case, 3.5 stars. The beginning of the maze is pretty cool because you have that sense of what is behind these walls and what is that noise and all this other stuff. And then once you actually get in the maze and you see what actually the monster is, it's like, okay, been there, done that. The same thing, I don't know if you ever seen a Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers was like, okay, it was like a suspense because you didn't know what was going on. Something was flying and killing these people. But when they showed what the thing was, it was like, oh no, it's like, it made the movie go from like 3 to 0 in like no time. So, but I'm not saying that with the maze, but like I said, it was like I said, the beginning is like, okay, wow, what is this? What is inside this maze and what is making this noise? But once you go in the maze and see what's going on, it's like, okay, it's like, but yeah, so like I said, I give the maze 3.5 stars, as well. So, but let's see what else. Well, you know, guys, the Halloween season is coming, and you know all the scary movies are coming out. So the two biggest ones I think that I'm looking forward to is Annabelle. Annabelle is like the first one. That is, if you've seen The Conjuring, based upon the doll, and that's where Annabelle is coming into play. So Annabelle, I guess, supposed to be before The Conjuring. So that is one of the horror movies I'm looking forward to see. And I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, they done made this movie like 10 million times, Ouija, which is based upon the Ouija board. So hopefully I'll see those, and of course, I'll let you know how I like them, and if I like them, and if I didn't like them, and what so forth and so forth. So, but again, guys, like I said, as always, thank you, and I ain't gonna talk no more. I'll see you next time.